bookish besties, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my August TBR. Instead of doing a TBR jar video or a spin the wheel challenge video or some kind of challenge, I carefully curated my TBR this month because I'm in a slump again. I literally only read one book in July. I am having the hardest time. I don't know if it's because I've been busy or if because the Olympics are on or if it's because I feel like I can't get into anything. So I'm trying to remedy that, and I picked two books from a couple different genres that I'm putting on a loose TBR. I'm hoping to stick to this TBR this month because, you know, I'm really bad at sticking to TBRs, but I'm trying to get better, and I feel like if I have different genres to pick from, then I'll be more likely to definitely pick something up because of mood reading. I'm really hoping that this will help me get me out of my slump and get me back on track for reading for the year, because I'm so behind on my goal and I'm so behind on like my in-brain personal goals, and I just feel like I want to be reading and discussing books again. I feel like there's so many things I need to catch up on, meaning I only started reading avidly 3 years ago, and I feel like there are so many books that people have read and can recommend that I haven't read yet. So I need to get on that train and get rolling. Further ado, I'm going to be showing you 8 books that I am putting on my August TBR. So we're starting off strong with the genre of romance. I feel like I read romance the quickest. I feel like it's one of the genres that I enjoy the most, and I feel like it's one of the genres that I feel myself pulling to when I'm in a book slump. So I want to read a novel love story by Ashley Poston. I haven't read anything by her yet, but I've heard this is so cute and that she gets sucked into like her favorite book. That is such a fun idea, and I want to be pulled into one of my favorite books. So I want to live vicariously through her and experience what that is like. I also heard somebody's review on this, and they said that the little town that she gets pulled into and the little shops that are there are literally so picturesque and perfect and aesthetic. So this excites me because I think this would be really fun to make like a Pinterest board or a collage for in a book journal. I'm very excited for this to give beautiful aesthetics. The second romance book that I chose was Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This one has been on my TBR for a while, basically since it came out. I recently went to go see Twisters, so now I can't stop thinking about cowboys, obviously like everyone else. But I've just heard that everyone's so obsessed with this, and I really want to read the second one as well, and then I know the third one's coming out soon. So this is Small Town Brother's Best Friend. I don't think I've ever really read anything that was Brother's Best Friend, so I'm kind of excited for that trope. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to give the vibes also. This cover is so gorgeous. I just love that it's like old western cartoony. It's perfect. So I'm really hoping to read this one as well. And he's also a bad boy, which a bad boy cowboy is what I'm craving right now, so I'm very excited. Then we move on to 2 fantasy books that I picked. So the first one, I have been wanting to read this author for so long, but I am kind of like it's not daunting for me to start her books. It's just like I know that when I start, I'm gonna have to just like keep going, but I'm excited for it. And I think it's gonna give perfect end of summer / beginning of fall vibes. And I already know that I'm going to love this book and this series, and I'm so excited, but I'm just nervous. So that is Carrolli by Stephanie Garber. And Stephanie Garber has been on my TBR since, again, I started reading again 3 years ago, and I really want to get to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So I know you get a better experience while reading Carrolli first, so I'm gonna try to read the Carrolli series first before I get to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. And because I just see fan art and aesthetics from the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and it is so beautiful. It gives like fairy tale fantasy vibes, and I adore that. So I really want to just bite the bullet and start this series. I'm not like super sure what this is about, so let me read synopsis to get myself excited. Scarlet Dragna has never left the tiny island where she and her sister Tella live with their powerful and cruel father. Now Scarlet's father has arranged a marriage for her, and Scarlet thinks her dreams of seeing Carrolli, the faraway, once-a-year performance where the audience participates in the show, are over. But this year, Scarlet's long-dreamt-of invitation finally arrives. With the help of a mysterious sailor, Tella whisks Scarlet away to the show. Only as soon as they arrive, Tella is kidnapped by Carrolli's mastermind organizer, Legend. It turns out that this season's Carrolli revolves around Tella, and whoever finds her first is the winner. Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Carrolli is only an elaborate performance, but she nevertheless becomes enmeshed in a game of love heartbreak, and magic with the other players in the game. And whether Carrolli is real or not, she must find Tella before the 5 nights of the game are over. A dangerous domino effect of consequences is set off, and her sister disappears forever. Welcome, welcome to Carrolli. Beware of getting swept too far away. So I think this gives like the perfect like end of summer, beginning of fall vibes, because it's like, I feel like that's when carnivals are happening. Like by me in New Jersey, we just went to the fair yesterday. So I feel like those are the vibes that this is gonna give, like magical fair carnival vibes. And I feel like carnivals remind me of like the end of summer and the beginning of fall. So I'm very, very excited, and I like that this has to do with magic. So I'm really excited. I've only heard good things about this. So I'm excited to begin my Stephanie Garber journey. So like a month or two ago, I started this book, and I think I just got into the biggest book slump, and that's why I couldn't like get more into it, couldn't finish it faster, couldn't finish it at all. So I'm gonna retry this one, because I already know I'm gonna be obsessed with it, because I already do love what I've read of this, but I think I'm gonna restart it so I can get those vibes again and get myself like rolling again. And that is Mistborn by Sanderson. I'm just like obsessed with the magic in this world. And for those of you that don't know, the magic in this world is you use different metals, and then those metals give you powers to like manipulate different things. And I love the main character Vin, and it's a heist book, and it's just so good, but I don't know why I couldn't get through it. I think because Brandon Sanderson's beginnings are pretty slow, it took me a while to get through the beginning and like get to the actual action-y part. So I think I'm going to try starting this one over again, and I do want to make a reading vlog for this one, and maybe the rest of the trilogy, because I already know that he's going to be one of my probably favorite authors, up there with like SJM and Emily Henry and all those kind of authors that I just like obsess over and will read anything that they write. So I'm very excited, and it's a beautiful world, and I love the aesthetics. Like I was making a Pinterest board when I first was reading this, so I can't wait to continue that. That was my second fantasy, and now we're gonna move on to like murder mystery slash thriller slash. So since I got into a reading slump, basically for the past 2 months, I didn't wind up reading any of my summer wean TBR because I literally did not read like a single book. It took me forever to get through one book, and it was horrible. But I'm really hoping to get through some more now, and then if not, save them for like September, October to really get into that like fall headspace. So the first one from this kind of like horror thriller genre is I Was a Teenage Slasher, and I just really want to read this one because I already know it's going to be amazing. So it's basically from the point of view of the actual slasher. I'm excited to see the different point of view, because I feel like we only ever get the point of view of the person that is being chased or, you know, being targeted, and so we're only getting that like fear response, and we're, you know, on the edge of our seats that way. But I think it's going to be interesting to see like why people do slashing, I guess. And I feel like that's so corny though, like why people do slashing. I just think it's going to be an interesting point of view to see like what they're thinking, why they're doing this, why they target the people that they target, like if there's an actual reason behind it, or if they're just following their vibes, I suppose, which they probably shouldn't. But I also know this is going to be gory, and that's one of my favorite things in a book, is like when there's like gore. So I'm really excited for that. But I already know I'm going to be sad for the people in it. And maybe I'm going to be sad for the slasher because maybe he doesn't want to be doing it. Who knows? So this one I'm rereading. I audiobooked it about a year ago, and I finished the entire series. It's a trilogy with a novella, and I loved it. So I decided to get it physically because the show just came out, and I want to reread it before I watch the show so I can remember. And I'm making a reading vlog on this one, and I want to make a show comparison from the book, obviously, to the show on Netflix, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm so excited because I really do love the series. I love Pip and Robbie. They're so cute. And like I said, I read the entire trilogy on audiobook. So I'm excited because I kind of knew it was mixed media based on the audiobook, but there are like maps in here, and like it's cool to see like the different formatting that she's using for her capstone project and for interviews and stuff. And I'm just excited to be back in this story and world, and I wait to watch the show. But I am forcing myself to reread this before I watch the show, so I actually remember what's going on and can compare them. But for those of you that don't know, this is about Pip, and she's a senior in high school doing her capstone project, and she's doing it on like kind of unsolved murder from 5 years ago between a really popular girl from her high school and that girl's boyfriend. And Pip thinks that that boyfriend is innocent and she wants to try to prove it, so she is literally becoming like a sleuth and like interviewing all these different people and trying to get to the bottom of it. And it's so funny because it's so unrealistic for real life, but it's so entertaining. I'm really enjoying it again. I am only on page 32, but I'm having a really good time. Now, a genre that I really haven't read a lot of is cozy fantasy. So I'm trying to bring more of that into my life because I love fantasy and I love like romance. So like, and I feel like cozy fantasy brings in the fantasy and romance elements, but keeps it super cozy and adds in that cottagecore element that I really love. So I'm trying to get more into that. The only cozy fantasy that I've really read is Legends and Lattes, and I really liked that one. One that is pretty cozy fantasy, but also a little more romance is brand new, and it is The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. And she also wrote the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, that trilogy called Dangerous Damsels. So I'm excited because I started audiobooking one of those and I just never got to reading them, but I stopped audiobooking it because I was like, wow, I'm really gonna love this book and I want to read it physically. So I'm super excited about this. I saw like a bunch of ads on Instagram for it and I was like, shut up, that sounds so good. So I picked it up at the bookstore the other day and it's so cute. Let me read you the back. A little fun insight into my background. I was a biology major in college and I had to take like an elective my senior year and I chose ornithology, and it was one of my favorite classes of all time. And I now love bird watching and I can literally hear a bird outside and tell you what bird it is. So that's why I'm so excited for this one. But it says, rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manner tea and helicopter parasols. So it's giving that like historical fiction, like romance. And then it's also giving fantasy vibes because the birds are like super fantastical. And it's also, I think, rivals to lovers because they're both like searching for like the same bird. So they're obviously in the same like field of interest. So that's like forced proximity too because they're forced to like team up. So it's forced proximity, rivals to lovers, historical fiction, fantasy. It's a rom-com. And it also has like the charm of like, I guess, just like a historical cottagecore fantasy. So I'm very, very excited. And this cover is so beautiful. Look at the bird on there. Oh, I love it. And this color is so pretty. It's like a really pretty, like, I don't even know, like a really dark pink / almost purple. It's so gorgeous. And then my second cottagecore cozy fantasy book and last book of this TBR is going to be The Spell Shop. Now this is a new one that I saw, and like look how pretty that cover is, and it has a little cat with wings on it. And I fell in love with one, the cover, and two, the description, because it sounds so cute. Let me read it to you. So this one is literally described as cottagecore because it says, a lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spellbooks, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and even sweeter love. So it's so cute. It says, Kayla has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, she and her assistant Kaz, a magically sentient spider plant, that's where it got me, just saying, have spent the last decade sequestered among the Empire's most precious spellbooks, preserving their magic for the city's elite. When a revolution begins and the library goes up in flames, she and Kaz flee with all the spellbooks they can carry and head to a remote island Kayla never thought she'd see again, her childhood home. Taking refuge there, Kayla discovers, much to her dismay, a nosy and very handsome neighbor who can't take a hint and keeps showing up day after day to make sure she's fed and to help fix up her new home. In need of income, Kayla identifies something that even the bakery in town doesn't have: jam. With the help of an old recipe book her parents left her and a bit of illegal magic, her cottage garden is soon covered in ripe berries. But magic can do more than make life a little sweeter, so Kayla risks the consequences of using unsanctioned spells and opens the island's first ever and much needed secret spell shop. So it says it's basically like a Hallmark rom-com. And I'm sorry if you just heard my husband sneeze in the background. And it's so cute. On the front it says, it takes a village to open a heart and just one man to steal it. And then it also says the spell shop. So this is like a little blurb review on the front. It says, the spell shop sweeps readers into a world of mer horses, illegal spells, and first loves. It's as comforting as homemade jam on a fresh baked muffin. And that makes me so happy. And the back says, this was a good place with kind people who cared about each other. There was a unicorn in the woods, mermaids in the coves, and the best raspberries she'd ever tasted. And then there was Lauren. I'm so excited. think she wrote anything else. Like, I don't think she's written anything else. The sprayed edges are so pretty. They're purple. So it's gorgeous. That's my August TBR. Let me pick it up again so you guys can see it again. So this is loosely my August TBR. So let me get closer. Starting from the top, we have Done and Dusted, A Novel Love Story, Carrolli, Mistborn, I Was a Teenage Slasher, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Live, and The Spell Shop. I'm so excited. It seems like it's going to be such a cozy TBR, and I'm so happy. I really hope I can get through some of these books and vlog some of these books for you guys, or at least do like short little reviews or little reading vlogs. I'm not the best at vlogging, but I'm getting better. So that's it for today. I'm gonna end the video here, but thank you guys for watching as always. I'm going to continue posting every Monday and then maybe throw in some other videos here and there during the week, but definitely Mondays. I'm so grateful for all of you that watch my videos. If you're still watching, leave me some kind of little berry emoji in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe, do all the cute little YouTube buttons. I love when you guys comment because, like I said, I love talking about books, and I get so excited when I get to talk about what I love with you guys. Again, thank you for watching and happy reading. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!